I know as a former chair for the San Francisco Federal Reserve, you have a pretty good understanding of the state of Nevada and its current economic conditions. It's been over 5 years now that since we've had this economic collapse, and I want to take a quote from the president of the St. Louis Federal Reserve. It recently said that we're a lot closer to a normal economy than we've been in a long time. And I would stress that I can tell you right now, Nevada's nowhere close to a normal economy. While maybe some parts of this country are experiencing some recovery, Nevada is still at 8.8 unemployment, second highest in the nation. And many homeowners are still underwater. So I guess the question is, do you feel that the struggle that Nevadans are currently experiencing, is this a new normal, according to the president of the president of the St. Louis Federal Reserve, or a new economic reality?
Well, I mean, as you know, Senator, Nevada was one of the hardest hit. It had one of the biggest booms in housing and about the biggest bust of any market in this country. And I'm well aware that an unusually large share of homeowners is underwater. The recovery, their prices have come up, and they're coming up in a way most rapidly in some of the areas like Las Vegas, where they fell the most. But it is still going to be a long slog before things are back to normal in the housing market in Nevada and some of those hard-hit areas. Prices are moving back up. We see investors coming in and buying homes and converting them to rental housing. But credit is really hard for many families to get. The ability to have home equity loans when it's been wiped out, and that's unfortunately Nevada is one of the states that's has been most badly affected.
Right. Any time frame for a new normal or a normal economy?
Some years, I think.
Several years. Can you give me what your definition of full employment is?
To me, it is a state of the job market in which people are able to find in a reasonable period of time jobs for which they're qualified. And there's no single metric, I would say, that would enable me to tell you when we've reached that. I would look at a broad range of indicators of the labor market. The unemployment rate, if I had to choose one metric, the unemployment rate is probably the best. And members of our committee aren't certain exactly what constitutes full employment, but generally see a range of 5 to 6% or a little bit in that area to be a state of full employment in the economy, but also looking at part-time employment, job flows, what's happening with wages, and a broader set of metrics, I think, is necessary.
What is real unemployment today?
Well, I'm not sure exactly. Some of the broadest measures of unemployment, like U6, which includes marginally attached workers and those who are part-time for economic reasons, namely they can't find full-time work, are around 13%.
About 13%. The Congressional Budget Office recently reported that President Obama's proposal to raise the minimum wage would eliminate 500,000 jobs. Some believe they're lowballing this figure. And I know it's your job at the Fed to maximize employment. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this soft economy and the impact of raising the minimum wage.
Well, I think almost all economists think that the minimum wage has two main effects. One is to give higher wages to those who continue to have jobs and were earning the minimum wage. And then second, that there would be some amount of negative impact on employment as a consequence. And there is considerable debates about just what the employment impact of it would be. CBO is as qualified as anyone to evaluate that literature, and I wouldn't argue with their assessment. I mean, there are a range of studies, and they cited them, but I wouldn't want to argue with they're good at this kind of evaluation and have opined on this. I think they also, I can't remember the numbers involved, but indicated that a large number of individuals would see their incomes raised as a consequence. I think that's the trade-off.
Doctor, thank you. My time's run. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.